Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Shots Fired Podcast DFW. Tonight we're covering the outstanding bounce back game by the Dallas Cowboys as they defeat the New England Patriots 38-3. And so let's get right into it. As usual, and as always, you got your boy Big Joe.
Got the boy Two Trio.
Got your boy Jay.
And you got your boy Julio the Don.
Boys, let's just come right out and say it. This is what we should have done last flipping week right here. This is what we should have done last week. Taking care of business and not be 3-1. We should be 4-0. We should be among the undefeated, but that was last week and this is this week. I did not expect a game like this at all. I thought it was going to be a pretty even, low-scoring game. And the fact of the matter is you take away 14 points from the defense contributions, and it's a 24-3 win, which is still impressive, but it doesn't look like a 38-3, right? With this win, we give Belichick his worst loss in his, I believe they said 29-year career, lost by 35. So it just continues to get worse for the Patriots. Cowboys bounce back to their winning ways. And we got a lot to get into. So first off, we'll go with you, T. What was your biggest takeaway from this game? Like what stood out to you the most?
Our red zone offense still sucks. It just looked like a complete team win. We saw a mix up on special teams we don't normally see. I'm still not sold on Tony Pollard being running back one. Other than that, I mean, it just looked like a complete team win, man. We dominated in all phases of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dak looked pretty good. No turnovers this week. That's always a winning recipe. And the defense looked outstanding, even though I still think we, going down the stretch, we're going to miss big tremendously.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Just kind of elaborate. Pollard is a RB1, 11 carries, 47 yards. That's real Zeke Elliott-ish. Red zone, you said, was still a concern. We went 1 for 4 in the red zone, although we had a nice opening drive, and Schoonmaker drops a touchdown pass.
True.
In the red zone.
So did CD.
You know, so
so did CD.
You make the good points there. And
I think in the group text I had a drop counter that I stopped counting at some point.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
There's a lot of Dak haters out there that says that Dak is out there playing like ass. I just like to point out when the passes are being dropped.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
There are drop passes, yes, but let's not put Dak in a tier 1 quarterback position when he's not. We just can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm kind of curious to see or hear your thoughts on why you think Pollard's not RB1.
It's like I always have said. He was great when you come in and you come in behind somebody that's pounding the defense down. Now you have to be that guy. I just don't see him being that guy that pounds the defense down. He's a great finesse back in open space. He's tremendous. But we just don't play that style of football. At least we haven't played that style of football at this point in the season.
But I would think that today showed that we didn't need to play that style of football to get the win.
I mean, you're correct in that sense, but if you're wanting him to be that guy, like how we pretty much used up Zeke Elliott, then that's at some point that's what it's going to require for him to be that guy.
I mean, we also have to have a line for that as well, though.
This is true.
A consistent line that can open
consistently
up gaps.
Healthy line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also need that for the quarterback as well. But carry on.
What about you? What about you, Julio? What stood out to you the most in today's game?
Well, first off, let me start by saying in our NFL Week 4 pick'ems, I said the Cowboys were going to drop a 40 burger in there on these boys. I said they were going to smack them in the mouth, that they were going to do exactly what they did tonight. And I'm happy they did. Super, super happy that they did. That just goes to show that, being pissed off from last week's loss, the fire that it probably lit under their asses, to just play better this week. So defense played outstanding. I know T mentioned that. Defense played lights out, basically. Scored 2 touchdowns. You had the special teams that played great. Offense, again, we struggled in the red zone. We continue to struggle in the red zone, I should say. For some weird reason, we can score outside of the red zone, but inside the red zone, for some weird reason, we just can kick field goals, apparently, for whatever
Right.
reason. But I would say, as far as Pollard is concerned, I agree with you, T. I don't think he's a number one running back. He is great in open spaces. He's a great finesse back, but when it comes to power football, driving the ball and making those hard yardage pickups when we need them, he's not that guy. He will never be that guy. He's not a Marion the Barbarian. He's not a Zeke when he was healthy. He's not any of those guys. And we can sit here and point the finger at a lot of different things that contribute to that, whether it be the offensive line not being healthy, whether it be that we're not running the correct scheme, or he's not. I mean, there was one play, I think, I can't even remember what quarter it was in, where Dak was handing
First
off the
quarter.
and he ran the wrong. Yeah, it was the first quarter, I think, where Dak was handing off the ball to him close to the goal line, I think, and he ran into Dak. Like, do we
Back
not
on
have
the
it
tackle.
together? Yeah, do we not have it together to the point to where we can hand the ball off with confidence to our running back, who can just pound it in and get us a go ahead score? I don't see that.
I
I
mean,
really don't.
we are the
And
Cowboys. We are.
I don't want y'all to take away from this conversation that I don't like Pollard. I love Tony Pollard. I think he's great. I just don't think he's RB1 material.
It's okay.
I don't either.
Bro. It's okay if you want Zeke back. It's okay. I think everybody wants Zeke back, but I don't. I
No,
don't.
I don't want Zeke back. That's not what I'm
I-
saying. I'm just saying that I don't think Pollard is the number one guy. Like, I just don't see him as number one guy material.
I
Just
don't.
like I told Joe last week, bro. We
I
just
mean, if
need
we
a
could just pick
power back.
anybody, I'll take King Henry. If we could take him, then he can come play for the Cowboys
Yeah,
and be our
like,
number one back.
and I like the other guy, Dowdle. I like Dowdle. He could be
He's a
he's
banger.
potentially the power
He
guy.
is.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we just need that one piece that doesn't miss the blitz pickup and that can handle that we need. We also need that one guy that can just pound you down like the LeGarrette Blunt type guy.
Hey,
I'm not saying I'll get LeGarrette Blunt, but
I'm not saying he's necessarily that guy, but from what I've seen of the stable that we use, Lipke might be the guy. He might be our goal line threat
true.
because
The
he's in
fullback.
there. He's in there and he runs hard. He's fast. He's shifty, but he's got some power behind him. So
Then why aren't we using him in goal line situations?
that's the $1 million question.
That's a great question.
So
I mean, I think when you have your RB1, like after Tony Pollard got hurt last year, he's just not been the same, and that's just what it is, and that's okay. We only have him. We have him on the tag, so we're gonna pay him this year. And from what I've seen, after just a quarter of the season, we won't be bringing him back. And if we do, it's gonna be dirt cheap. But you do have a Dowdle. I don't know if Dowdle's good at pass pro. You have Lipke, and you have Deuce Vaughn. Unpopular opinion here: Deuce Vaughn needs to go. already. He needs to go. Like he looked great in preseason against second and third and fourth string. He hasn't done anything with his touches here. Against the starters. So I think the biggest thing for me was this defense took it personal from last week to this week. LVE with the scoop and score led the team with 7 tackles. Deron Bland with 2 picks, almost had 3.
Almost.
So and one of them was a pick 6. So he's stepping up big in Diggs' place. And we kind of knew he was going to get picked on because he's the new guy out there. And I think he stepped up big. So I was super impressed by that. Schultz being gone, we have Jake Ferguson in, 7 catches, 77 yards. He looked great. He's looking like a threat. 1 for 4 in the red zone though. Doesn't get it. It's still not. I don't have peace. Like once we get inside that 20, I'm like, what are we gonna do here? Like,
yeah.
And I think our offense is gonna slowly continue to feel that until we're more consistent. Dak going 28 of 34 for 261 yards and a touchdown. Not, groundbreaking numbers, but enough to get it done.
And I mean, the score was what, 38-3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to be a world beater to win the game. He just has to be able to be efficient, which he was, 28 of 34, and he has to make the right decisions, which for the most part he did. I think he had like 1 or 2 passes that looked like they could have been picks. But other than that, I mean, he was fairly accurate all day long, dropping them where it needed to be. The one, the fade route, I think it was to CD in the end zone. That was nice for the touchdown. As soon as Gonzalez got hurt, they attacked with CD and they scored that touchdown from the 20. I was like, oh, that's a red zone, and they were like, yeah, that doesn't count as a red zone.
Can I bring up something that kind of something that kind of broke my heart and hurt my heart whenever I found out that our QB1 has a damn football field in his backyard, and yet
in the DAC yard. That's what it's called, the DAC yard.
Yeah, the DAC yard. So you got a football field back there, but you're still not on the level of we won't even say a Joe Burrow or
he's playing better than Burrow.
Josh Allen. This year he's playing better than Burrow.
Josh Allen and Dak have career damn near identical stats.
Career high interceptions, yeah.
Jay, talk to me about this 11 for 47, bro.
11 for 47?
That Tony Pollard, the Tony Pollard stat line, 11 rushes, 47 yards.
I mean,
4.3 average.
It wasn't needed. You didn't look. If our run game ain't doing shit, throw the ball. Okay? Throw the ball. Let's use some common sense here. Let's not keep running the ball if it ain't working.
Well, I think the big takeaway also from this game was that the Cowboys switched that up. They weren't consistently running on first down. They were throwing it on first down, giving them the ability to get ahead of the chains so that they're not in second and long, third and long. They're passing the ball.
That sounds like Gopher shit. Just keep doing the same shit.
Smart.
Well, that was the thing that we talked about last week too. I think you mentioned it on the last podcast, was that everybody knows, everybody can call what we're going to run on first down.
Right.
It's going to be a run.
You're predicting.
And now we're starting to mix it up. Like on our very first drive, I think the first three plays were pass plays. And then after that, we started mixing in the run little by little, like sprinkling it in. And I think that can be contributed to, one, the shit that Mike McCarthy got from the media last week saying, why did we stick to the run so much? And then him saying openly, I wish we would have passed the ball more. So again, I think something that we talked about before previously was that, you know, these guys always take what they get as feedback and then try to utilize that going into the next game. So I think Mike kind of listened to that and it was like, I heard myself say it. We need to pass the ball more. Let's do that this week instead of running the ball.
Right.
So that's the whole reason why the game changed this week. And we looked a whole lot sharper. We looked a whole lot cleaner as far as plays go. And it looked like we were moving the ball and we had the ball for the entirety of the game. I don't remember the Patriots having that many drives within the game, but that can also be contributed to our defense. The one thing that stood out to me and impressed me a lot about the defense was the fact that Micah got hurt. They sat him down, and then he put himself back out on the field. And we talked about this before on a previous podcast as well, where we said, depending on what where his level, where his mentality is at, that's how the defense plays.
Yeah.
And you could see it when he's on and when he's off the field. So that was super impressive to me. But then again, I am a defensive guy, so I'm a little biased when it comes to that.
I think I was listening to the broadcast, and at one point they were like, Micah had 8 pressures. That's insane. 8 pressures, bro, in one game. So Mac Jones was running for his life, and they pull him in the third, and they put in their backup, and I'm just like, ooh, rough day for that guy.
What was his name? Zappy? Zappy?
Yeah.
Isn't that his name?
I think it was something like that, Zappy or something like that. I can't remember what his last name was, but yeah, man. What do you think? What do you think is something that we need to be working on moving into next week, Julio?
For me, it would just be having more consistency in the red zone. We still don't have that. We still haven't worked that out for whatever weird or apparent reason. We still can't figure out how to score when we get in there. Again, we have these beautiful drives and then get all the way to the red zone, and then it's like we talked about before. It's like a deer getting caught in headlights. You just blank out, don't know what the hell's going on, don't know what play's being run, don't know which direction the pass is coming from. So I think we really, really need to focus on cleaning that portion of our game up and also trying to keep our guys healthy. Because obviously you could tell, and I'm not using this as an excuse, but last week when we played against Arizona, we did struggle on offense. Part of the reason why we struggled on offense was we were missing 3 offensive linemen, 3 of our starters. We had a bunch of penalties. I don't think I heard any penalties this game on our end that were called on us.
We had 2 at halftime, but I don't remember what the final was.
Yeah. So for the most part, as long as we keep our penalties down, our defense stays healthy and continues to be the dogs each week instead of just every other week, I think that we'll be fine. I think we're gonna do good going into the latter part of the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, T? What do you think the biggest key to our success is moving forward into next week and beyond that?
Just focusing on red zone offense. I think we got to stop trying to be cute when we get down there, and we really kind of got to lock in. Couple of drop passes today. Can't really put that on anybody but the receivers. Other than that, like Julio said, staying healthy, man, and keep the penalties low. Penalties stay low, we tend to win. Penalties get high, we tend to lose. And hopefully, like I said, man, like I think we all in agreement. Hopefully, we can get some people back healthy. Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, and I think we'll be pretty good moving forward, man. We just don't have that many concerns as a team overall. Our biggest concern is red zone offense. Like, we literally have one concern so far this season, and that's red zone offense. So injuries are a part of the game. You can't get away from that, but you can definitely work on the red zone offense.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Jay? What do you think is the biggest thing we need to focus on moving forward next week and beyond to be successful.
Consistency is the word of the day. Um, it's just from week to week, we don't know which Cowboys are going to show up,
Right.
and we need to know. We need to have a leader in that locker room to get these boys ready to let them know what we need to do on the field. Period. Period. Point blank. That's
Sure.
missing. I wish we had one, a definitive one. We don't. Um, but that's the only way that we're gonna get better is being consistent, playing the same way you played last Sunday. Period. I have the same talk with Logan, my son. That is, he's a nose guard and defensive tackle, depending on how many guys they have. But I tell him every week, be consistent. Play just if you had, 4 pressures this game, have 5 or 6 next. Always continue to improve. Always continue to try and get to your job is trying to disrupt and get to the quarterback. I know
Right.
you're gonna get double team, triple team, whatever. Continue to do that. You're doing your job. So consistency.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing we need to focus on, I think, is offensive. I think our defense, for the most part, we're looking good. I do think our gap assignments need to be consistent. We did a lot better job this week of not just running up the field and leaving the run lanes wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what we need to focus on defensively. Offensively, I like the play calling this week so much better than last week. And to me, I think
Yeah.
this game was probably the best play calling game of Mike McCarthy's 4 games this year. Um, he passed the ball. The other thing that he said was we needed to do a better job of getting CD touches in the red zone. And what was the first
Mm-hmm.
big red zone play we had was him trying to get CD.
Mm-hmm.
So he's committed. He's telling you, I hear it, I see it, and I'm going to commit to making it better. And that's what he's doing. I think
Yeah.
if he remains consistent as a play caller and continues to put us in a situation to prosper and take what the defense gives us, we're going to be all right because he's got a quarterback that can drive a bus and get us where we need to be. Dak's not gonna carry a game and carry the team to wins, but what he will do is he'll put us in a position uh to be competitive. As long as it doesn't come down to we're relying on Dak to necessarily win the game, but as long as Dak's like, I've got a lead, I know how to play with the lead. I can keep us, afloat. That's all we need. We don't need a Mahomes or a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow. We just need somebody that can play with a bit of a lead, which is thanks to the defense, and then we go from there.
So you're
So
saying
Joe
when
Flacco did it.
he can put
exactly.
he can put us
Joe
on the
Flacco
right
did it.
highway and get us home. Is that what you're saying?
Dax like, let me put it on cruise control and I'll get you wherever you want to be.
Okay. Yep.
Ray
Just
Ray
like
did it
that.
for Joe Flacco. I'm just saying.
I'm hey,
I'm just saying.
so I think I was very proud of this performance. I was very proud of the defense bouncing back and taking it personal and
Mhm.
saying, you know what, we're not going to have a repeat. We let it slide last week. We were smelling ourselves and we got embarrassed. They came
Mhm.
out this week and said, let me remind y'all why we are considered one of the best defenses in the league. And the offense came out this week, and Big Mike was like, you know what? I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm not going to just try to pound the ball into a brick wall and just keep doing that over and over again. Let's get some creativity and let's open up some
Oh yeah.
opportunities.
That's
Can you please stop calling that man Big Mike, bro? His name is Mike McCarthy.
What's wrong with him being Big Mike, man? What's wrong with that?
Golly, bro. He ain't earned Big Mike yet. You get Big Mike
Not
when we
yet.
win them bowl, bro. When we win the
Oh, okay.
bowl, you be Big Mike all day. But right now, you're Mike McCarthy.
Right now, he's
Matter of fact, you ain't even
Michael.
Mike McCarthy.
He's
You just
Michael
Michael.
McCarthy.
You just
He,
McCarthy right now.
he little Mike, not Big Mike.
He Mikey Mac right now.
You know, his run
Nah, bro, but
philosophy last week reminded me of a Pop Warner game. Like he was a Pop Warner coach. Like we're just gonna continue to run the ball, no matter what.
just Nathan Miss Kellen Moore, didn't he?
That's
Little bit.
exactly what it felt like.
A little bit.
That's exactly what it felt like. So it felt like we reverted back last week. Last week was just a bad game, but this week we turned it around. Now, if we carry this into next week, I'll be like, okay, we're learning, we're growing. If we look like the Cardinals game again
Hey,
next week, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I tell you one thing. I think they brought it up in the broadcast at the very end after the game was over. You know, right now in the NFC, the top teams, of course, the Niners, they're 4-0. You got the Eagles that are 4-0, but are, finding ways to win. They're not winning great, but they're finding ways to win. They barely got past the Commanders today in overtime with 3 points. But we got the Niners. So my question to you guys is, if we beat the Niners, where do we now stand in the NFC? What would be your take if we beat the Niners? Not saying we will. Well, I'm going to say we will because I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. I'm always call that. But if we beat the Niners next week, when we beat the Niners next week, where will you guys stand? Are we still going to be a mediocre team, not able to make it, or are we going to be considered? Yeah, we're a contender now. We're up there with everybody else. In your opinion,
you gotta ask me after the game, bro. You gotta ask me after the game because it's really gonna depend on. For me, it's gonna depend on how we win. Like if we win and we win by like, let's say San Fran lost the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were in control, but they kept messing it up. If it's something like that, and we just happen to take advantage of it, I don't know. But if we go out there and dominate, then I'll be like, okay, like we that team. So it to me it just depends on how we win.
What about you, Jay?
You know, the 49ers is my brother's team. Has been his team since I've been born.
I can see where this is going. I can see where this is going. Go ahead.
You know, I hope we beat them. They've been rolling, bro. They got a good team. I'm not gonna lie, they got a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that put us up there if we beat them. It would have to because they have a damn good team, and hopefully it would shut him up because I'm tired of.
If we beat them 24-21, walk-off field goal, and Dak has a game like what he had today, 261, 1 touchdown, no INT, what was he, like 28 or 34, but the defense pushed 2 turnovers, you would say that's a dominant win, right?
I would say it's a dominant win, but I'd say that was a damn good win.
Yeah, we got out. We got out of there.
Right. Bruh, chill with the ice, man.
Oh, my bad, bro.
So by that standard, by us just getting out of there, would you say that we're like that team?
I mean, if you're in a dogfight with the team that everybody considers the best team in your division, in the NFC, and you're competitive, then I would say that's still a good win.
Yeah, you knocked off the top team.
You got to remember, like it was still damn close last year, and we didn't have nobody after Pollard got hurt. So it's not like the 49ers just dominated us. Now in the years before that, they just ran all over our ass, and we just had to sit there and take it. I think this week, this is going to be man on man, like who's more physical. That's what the 49ers do best.
They play physical football. Physical football.
They're a physical team, and Brock Purdy is king of. I'm going to make all the right little decisions. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not, I don't have to be a superstar. I'm going to just take what they give me, and I'm going to drive this bus. And that's what Dak needs to be.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Exactly. But I do think this week the Niners are going to test the Cowboys' manhood. Like, y'all talked all that shit about how y'all went and picked up Mozzie, and y'all ain't going to go out like that against the run. Like, that's what we focused on all summer. We ain't going to get just blasted on the run. We're going to find out next week. And like I said about like Dak in his press conferences, don't talk about it now. The time for talking about it is over. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah.
And this week, you either going to talk about it or be about it. We're going to find out.
That should be his demeanor. His whole career should be, I'm going to be about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it. Be about it. Go out there and show people why you should have got paid what you got paid. And then shut them up. And then the rest is history, bro.
That's it. So I'm excited about this week, bro. This is the first big test. I think if we can get by San Francisco, then it's on to Philly. Like down the road, we're gonna look at Philly. If we can beat San Fran and Philly, then shut the hell up at that point, right? Like you're looking at the leader of the NFC, but if you go out there and you lay a turd, then it's the same old shit, same old Cowboys that we see every year. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to thank you so much for just taking the time to stick with us through this video. I know it's a little longer than we intended, but we did cover a lot of material. Cowboys win, and we do it again next week. We'll see you then. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.